Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm a young representative for Young Epilepsy, and today I will be interviewing Thea, who is spokesperson for the Department of Work and Pension regarding the support available to young people when making financial decisions.
Hi, good morning. My name's Thea and I work for the DWP. My role is the North Staffordshire Employer and Partnership Manager, and part of that is obviously talking to all of our key partners and stakeholders and our employers in our local area to make sure we've got great resources for our customers.
What financial benefits in BIP are available to people during these uncertain times?
Okay, so obviously you understand that when you're approaching the age of 16, you're no longer eligible to claim disability living allowance.
Yeah.
So for your 16th birthday, the DWP should contact you via letter to explain that. But what you can do is go on and claim PIP, so personal independence payment.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a young person aged between 16 and 17, you can go on and claim PIP, and your parent or carer who may be getting carer's allowance for you, they can claim universal credit and get the child tax credit element from there as well. Okay. Now, if you're in education or accredited training, that is when they'll get that child tax credit element part from universal credit, and they will make that claim on your behalf. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're 18, you can make a claim to universal credit in your own right then. Okay. Because one thing about PIP is that it's not means tested. So it basically means it doesn't take into account any other benefits or that you might be claiming or wanting to claim, and it doesn't take into account any savings either. Okay. So there is an exception to that general advice that some young people aged 16 and 17 may be able to claim universal credit full service if they have a limited capability for work or is awaiting an assessment to determine whether they have a limited capability for work, and has a statement given by a registered medical practitioner, which provides that person is not fit for work. So there are some exceptions. What you can do is you can go on to gov.uk/benefits-calculators, and you can have a look yourself to see what you're likely to be eligible for. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, personal independence payment, PIP, that can help you with some of your extra costs if you've got a long-term health or a disability. So you could potentially get between £23.60 and £151.40 a week if you're aged 16 or over and you've not reached state pension age, which I'm presuming none of you have.
Yeah.
The amount that you will get will depend on how your condition affects you, not on the condition itself. And as I said, it's not means tested. Now I've got a number of links for people to actually use, which I will share after this interview, so you've got all that information. Most of it's on gov.uk, but there's a number of links where I can direct people to go and find the information that they need.
Yeah. What is the time process when applying for like benefits, including universal credit?
Yeah. Okay. So once you've had that notification for your DLA stopping and an application to PIP, there is a telephone number for you to ring, and you will get sent a form, which is called a PIP2 form. Quite a big form. It's about 40 pages long, which you'll need to complete and send back. Now, usually the assessments for PIP happen face to face. Obviously, with COVID-19, that's not happening at the moment. So those are being done via telephone. There is a delay in those being processed at the moment. However, you will still continue to receive your DLA until you've had that assessment with a PIP person. Okay. Universal credit, you apply for that online. The advice I would give you for that is apply straight away. If and when there's a requirement or an entitlement, get that application in, because there's no backdating facility on universal credit. So it's really important that if you're thinking of making a claim, or you think you're going to be eligible for a claim, is that you get on there and make that claim. Okay. Now, it usually takes around 5 weeks to process universal credit fully when they've assessed everybody's circumstances. However, if you need an advance payment, you can apply for one of those, but you will have to pay, and you will have to pay that advance money back. So we would take an agreed amount with yourselves. We work it out. We let you know beforehand. You know, if you're having £200 now, you'll be paying X amount over 12 months. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. So to actually make a claim to universal credit, if people require support for that, we're actually working really closely with Citizens Advice Bureau, and they can help you actually complete that form, the application online, and they can get you, you know, into payment quicker if people are unsure about how to do it themselves.
Yeah. So who trusted sources they should approach?
So I would advise, if you need help filling in any types of forms, Citizens Advice Bureau are there. They can help you with PIP forms. They can also help you with universal credit. If people have very specific vulnerabilities and they're not able to access that service, DWP do offer a visiting service in exceptional circumstances. Now, obviously, we've had to amend that service slightly during COVID because we have to make sure that, you know, colleagues and customers and everybody is safe. But if there's an exceptional circumstance, we can still come out. Let me have a look. If you're claiming universal credit in your own right, you automatically get assigned a work coach. And we have people called disability employment advisors in the job centre. So you automatically get trusted support then, and they will work very closely with the trusted partners, employers that we have in the community, and we have links to the NHS. A couple of other partners that I'd also recommend highly would be the Prince's Trust. They run some great programmes for young people and they're great advocates for young people, and the National Careers Service, and you can access both of those online. A couple of things that I did find was epilepsy.org. On that particular website, there's a whole raft of information and support, and also some benefit advice on that one. And also on epilepsysociety.org.uk, there is some tips on how to actually fill out the forms on there. So again, I'll share all those links with you afterwards. If you were actively looking to go into work or an apprenticeship or a traineeship, there is such a thing called Access to Work. So Access to Work is a grant that you, the individual, can access, and it can help to provide any adaptations that you might need in the workplace to enable you to go to work. So that could be anything from a support worker or a taxi to get to and from work, or, you know, even a different kind of mouse. So there is funding there for people, and that's called Access to Work. We have Find a Job website as well. So that's the government-run website, which has got lots of employers registered on there and lots of vacancies. But we do run a scheme called Disability Confident, which has replaced the old 2 tick symbol. So if customers want to find an employer that is specifically, you know, disability confident accredited, and what that means for an employer is that they are open and fair recruitment, and they will offer opportunities to disabled people.
Yeah.
You can actually filter the search on Find a Job to just filter out those employers that are disability confident, and you can also do that on the apprenticeship website as well.
Yeah. What should young people avoid in terms of seeking advice?
Okay, so I think one thing to be wary of is that some local organisations do offer support for making a claim to universal credit, but quite often there's a wait involved in getting access to that service. So my advice would be just be careful when you're looking for support. Try and use the directions that I'm giving you today rather than local people, because there might be a delay in making that claim, and as I said, there's no backdating on universal credit. Also, yeah, so don't delay making your claim, but be really aware of safety. So protect your data. Do not give out or disclose your personal or your bank details to anybody, and be really aware of any sort of universal credit type scams that are out there. We follow really strict protocol in the job centre. We contact people via their journal messages, and if we have to ring people and speak to people on the phone, we do a really thorough process to make sure that you're speaking to the right people, and vice versa. So just to be aware of that, really.
Yeah. Who can advocate for young people?
I think, well, everybody could advocate for young people. We all should be, and many of our trusted partners also do this very, very well. So again, like the National Career Service and Prince's Trust, if you were on universal credit and you were getting support from your work coach in the job centre, then we run a number of programmes to help young people move closer to work. Yeah. One of those programmes is called Mentoring Circles, where we ask an employer to give some time to come and talk to you about their journey into work and the types of things that they're looking for in people. But they are great advocates for young people in the local community, because they tell other businesses about the opportunities and the satisfaction that they get from giving these mentoring circles. Yeah. We also provide work experience, and we have that work coach support, and we have that disability employment advisor support all in the job centre, and they are all people that are advocating on a daily basis for young people. Yeah.